story of my son Joseph. Joseph was being thrown into prison because of the lies told by Potiphar's wife. Joseph seemed so far away from those things that God had showed him in his dream. But God will see that my son is taken care of. And he will be blessed because Joseph continues to dream about serving God. Now let us return to the story of my son Joseph, the dreamer of God.
Somebody mad at me.
Oh, I see an honest prisoner. We don't get very many of those down here. My name's Edmond. I didn't catch yours.
Joseph.
Well, Joseph, maybe you should tell me what you did to get someone so mad at you to get you thrown in down here. Then I'll know whether or not you were an honest man.
Well, why should I tell you anything?
Joseph. See, a prison can be a very lonely place without friends. And I'm someone who can make things go a little easier for you. I'm what you might call connected. See, if I put the word out, then you will have the worst job in this prison. And no one will talk to you. So I think it's in your best interest tell me what you did to get yourself thrown in down here.
All right, Akbar, but I have to tell you, I am not alone. God is with me, and He will always be with me. Okay?
Okay. So why don't you just tell me what it is that you did to get yourself thrown in down here?
All right, well, when I was just 17 years old, my brothers sold me into slavery, into Egypt, where I was bought by a man named Potiphar. Because God was with me, everything that I did for him was good. And Potiphar became a very, very wealthy man.
Okay, but making your master rich didn't get you thrown in down here. Now, were you helping yourself to some of those riches, huh?
No.
Here, you got your hand caught in the cookie jar?
No.
Some on the table? Oh, yeah.
No, I told you, I didn't steal anything. It was his wife.
You kissed your master's wife? Are you crazy?
No. She tried to kiss me. And I told her that was wrong. And so she got mad at me and told her husband that I tried to kiss her. I think you can figure the rest out for yourself.
I see, yeah. It's a good story. And you know, if anyone else had told me that, I'd have called him a liar. And I would have been right. Except, Joseph, there's a special quality about you. And I believe you. I believe you're telling me the truth. And a man of integrity is hard to find anywhere, especially in prison. So, I'll put a word in for the warden. And something else. See, Joseph, I think this God that you serve is going to help you out, and you're going to do very well. So, carry on. I'll talk about you.
Joseph was such a good prisoner that he was soon put in charge of all the other prisoners. And with Joseph running the prison was run better than it ever had been. I told you God would take care of my son. Joseph was about to get 2 new prisoners. 2 men. The Pharaoh was not happy.
Oh my, taking back my Peter, want to take a seater, at least it gets best. Oh, I'm tired. Oh my, taking back my Peter, want
Yes, Captain. I'll take good care of him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you two. Nice socks, by the way.
Well, my grandmother gave them to me for my birthday.
All right.
And you know, if your grandmother gives you socks for your birthday, you gotta wear the socks that she gave you.
What do you mean?
You know? See? And I thought, what a better chance than coming to prison to wear my socks.
All right, you two. It's time for bed, so you can sleep over there.
Over there on the floor?
No. This is not acceptable for us to sleep on the floor. No.
Oh, guys. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Should I see if the presidential suite is available?
Oh, would you? I'd love to stay there.
Compare. There is no presidential suite. Look, I'm the King's chief vicar. This is the King's chief cupbearer. We deserve better accommodations than this.
Okay. Maybe I'd better explain to you two about how things work down here. Down here, it doesn't matter who you were or what your job was. Every man down here is equal. Yeah. Every man down here feels like he's being unjustly punished. Yeah. Every man down here eats the same things, drinks the same things, and sleeps in the same places. The floor. Your spots are over there. Any questions?
Do we have any questions, Cookie?
What is this noise now?
That? Oh, that's the sound of a man working on a chain. Gang, don't you know that's the sound of a man working on a chain? Gang, everybody singing. That's the sound of a man working on a chain. Gang, don't you know that's the sound of a man working on a chain? Gang. All day long we work so hard till the sun is going down. Working on the highways and byways, wearing a frown. People moaning their lives away, and then they hear somebody say, "That's the sound of a man working on the chain."
Knock it off in here! Any man who's caught singing is going to spend the night in the box. Any man who's caught sleeping during the sermon was going to spend the night in the box. And any man who's caught texting is going to spend the night in the box.
All right, you two. Now it's definitely time for bed. Go to sleep. Over there.
We both had a dream last night.
It was a terrible dream, and there's no one here to interpret our dreams for us.
Don't you know that interpretation belongs to God? Tell me what your dreams are.
Well, in my dream, there was a vine in front of me, and on that vine were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, it blossomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, so I took those grapes and I squeezed them in the cup, and I placed it in his hand.
Huh. All right. Well, Chief Cupbearer, this is what your dream means. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift your head up and restore you back to your previous position. You will once again put Pharaoh's cup back into his hand. But Cupbearer, remember me. Mention me to Pharaoh. Get me out of this place, for I've been unjustly imprisoned.
Okay.
Joseph, in my dream, I was carrying 3 baskets of bread on my head. In the very top of the baskets, there were birds eating the bread. What could this mean?
Huh. Well, Chief Baker, this is what your dream means. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head
No!
and hang your body on a tree, and the birds will eat away your
No!
flesh.
I was sleeping on the floor. It's okay. No!
Sorry. Yeah.
Joseph, I'm here after the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Pharaoh would like to see him in his court.
Chief Cupbearer, remember me.
I remember you.
Well, Pharaoh restored the chief cupbearer back to his previous position. And once again, he put the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But the chief baker, he was hanged, just like Joseph said in his interpretation. However, the chief cupbearer did not remember my son. He forgot Joseph. But 2 years later, Pharaoh had a dream.
Abdul, I've had the strangest dream. And I need to find out what it means.
Well, Your Highness, perhaps if you tell me more about your dreams, I can help you interpret them.
Abdul, you're a good friend. But a dream interpreter, you're not. Go find my wise men and my magicians so that they can interpret my dreams.
I shall go find the wisest men and magicians in all the land.
Really concerned. I'm afraid if I don't figure out what these dreams mean, that somehow my kingdom is going to suffer.
Pharaoh, I have returned with the wisest men and magicians in all the land. Perhaps one of these can interpret your dreams.
Whoever can interpret my dream will become one of my most trusted advisors. Here is my dream. I dreamed I was on the banks of the river Nile. And out of the water came 7 healthy fat cows, and they grazed among the reeds. And then And then out of the water came 7 ugly skinny cows, and the 7 skinny cows, they consumed the fat healthy cows. But even after they'd eaten them, you couldn't tell they'd eaten a thing. They were still so skinny. And in my second dream, there were 7 heads of grain on a single stalk, beautiful and plump. And on a separate stalk were 7 heads of grain, withered and dried by the east wind. And the withered heads of grain, they consumed the plump, healthy grains. Can you interpret my dreams?
Hold up! I'm sorry, Pharaoh. None of these men can interpret your dreams. 1,001 apologies.
Pharaoh, today I remembered a promise I had made. When I was in prison with the baker, we both had a dream. A Hebrew was there, and he interpreted my dream and the baker's dream, and it came true. I was restored as your cupbearer, and the baker, well, he lost his head.
Well, who is this Hebrew?
His name was Joseph. He was assigned as the captain of the guard servant.
Abdul, go get me this Joseph.
Yes, Your Highness.
Abdul, do not tell him anything about my dreams.
Not a word.
Cupbearer, do you think this Hebrew can interpret Pharaoh's dreams?
I remember he said interpretations belong to his God.
Well, we shall see if his God is with him.
Pharaoh, I have returned with the men of the Hebrews, Joseph.
I've had the dream and nobody can interpret it, but I've heard that you can interpret dreams.
I cannot do it. But God can give Pharaoh the interpretation to his dreams.
Here's my dream. I dreamed I was on the bank of the river Nile, and out of the water came 7 healthy fat cows, and they grazed among the reeds along the river. And out of the water came 7 ugly skinny cows, and the skinny cows, they ate the fat healthy cows. But even after they'd eaten them, they were still so ugly and skinny, you couldn't tell they'd eaten a thing. And in my second dream, there were 7 heads of grain, beautiful and plump. And there were 7 heads of grain dried and withered by the east wind. And the withered heads of grain, they consumed the healthy heads of grain. Can you interpret my dreams?
This is what Pharaoh's dreams mean. The 7 fat cows are 7 years. And the 7 fat heads of grain are also 7 years. They are 7 years of abundance. But the 7 sick cows and the 7 dry heads of grain are also 7 years. They are 7 years of famine.
Famine? Famine? You mean my people will go hungry and our animals will have nothing to eat? My entire country will starve? Are you serious?
It is just as I have said. There will be 7 years of great abundance throughout the entire land. But they will be followed by 7 years of famine, a famine so severe that the country will be ruined. God has shown you what he is about to do in 2 forms, because it has been firmly decided, and it will happen soon.
But what am I going to do?
You should appoint a wise man over the entire land.
But my wise men, they proved that they were not very wise. What am I going to do, Joseph? Go on.
You should then appoint commissioners over the entire land to store up grain during the 7 years of abundance, and to store it up under the authority of Pharaoh.
Commissioners and under the authority of under the authority of Pharaoh. That's me. That's me. That's under my authority. Abdul, It is good to be me.
Indeed, sir, I am astonished you.
Joseph, go on.
The grain that is stored up should then be used during the 7 years of famine, so that the country will not be ruined and the people will not starve.
Sounds like a fine plan to me. Abdul, what do you think of Joseph's plan?
Oh, I think it's an excellent, awesome plan. Who do you think we should put in charge of this awesome and excellent plan?
Well, Abdul, can we find anybody more wise and filled with the Spirit of God than this man Joseph?
No, I guess you can.
Since God has made this known to you and made you so wise, I will put you in charge of my palace. And all of the people of Egypt will follow your orders. Only I, Pharaoh, will have more power than you. People of Egypt, I present to you Zapanath-Paneah, ruler of all Egypt.
God has taken care of my son and has made him a very important person. And with Joseph in charge of the food supply of the nation, the lives of many people will be saved, including that of his own family. All this time, I thought that my son was dead. But God has kept him alive. And Joseph continues to do great things for God because Joseph continues to dream of God.